have a special guest today with us, my god sister from Canada. That's Banke Bihari Dd. She's with us right now. And I would put her on the spotlight, please. Meenakshi Mataji, please put her on the spotlight so that everybody can see her. Put her on the speaker's view.
Yes, she's on. Hare Krishna Mataji, welcome. Dandavat Pranam.
So she's on the speaker.
Yes, she's on the spotlight, Mataji.
You can hear me?
Yes. Hare Krishna. You're welcome. It's been many years I haven't met her. It's been 4 or 5 years. 2016, I last visited Vancouver. So we had always, from my first visit till the 2016 visit, I've always been to meeting her and had lots and lots of fun together in Bhakti. So I welcome you, Banke Bihari. And everybody's so excited to meet you. This is she's our book distributor in Vancouver. And I must introduce you, everybody to her, that everybody here is also trying to do book distribution. They're getting motivated. They are Banke Bihari. They're all almost new in Bhakti. They joined me in the lockdown, say 1.5 years back. And now they all are trying to become devotees. And they're all in their capacity trying to do book distribution also. So my group, they did, this year, they did 600 Bhagavatam sets. And till now, they have done more than 4,000 Bhagavad Gitas. So our target is much more. We are still striving to do 2,000 more Bhagavad Gitas. So I want them to get motivated by you. She is a book distributor there, but I must tell everybody, she is a very hard-working book distributor. Hamare jaise nahi, not like us, just calling and talking. She goes on the streets. She carries big bag on her shoulder. I have personally done the book distribution with her. Now I will not hold her. She will tell you all about it herself. So go ahead, Banke Bihari.
Okay, well, the good news is I don't carry them on my back anymore. Now I have a cart.
Oh, very nice.
So I pull them in a little cart now because my back was getting sore.
Yeah, I can understand. So
okay, well, I think I'm going to start by letting everyone know that my plan when I came to Krishna consciousness actually wasn't to become a book distributor because I'm a very shy person. I'm very introverted. I like to really keep to myself, and I don't really like to look people in the eye and talk to people that I don't know. So I thought to myself, okay, well, I have to have some kind of service. I don't care what it is, just as long as it's not distributing books, clean the pots, wash the floor, whatever, but I'm just not going to distribute books. Like I just told myself, I'm just not going to accept it as my service. But Krishna had his own plan, and he kind of actually tricked me into distributing books because I got an email one day saying that there was going to be Harinam on the weekend, and please show up down the temple at such and such time. So like Harinam's fun, right? You're just singing and dancing. So I thought, yeah, I'm going to do that. So I showed up, and a devotee approached me and said, oh, are you here from the Harinam? And I said, yeah. And he said, okay, well, we're going to get in this van over here. So I get in the van, and his wife's in the van also. And I'm looking around and I don't see anybody but the three of us. So I assumed that I was late and maybe everybody else already left in some other vans, right? So this is what I'm thinking. So I'm going to join the Harinam later. So we're driving. And then his wife says to me, oh, do you know that you're the only person who showed up? And I said, no, I didn't know that. And they said, well, because you're the only person who showed up, my husband's going to take you book distributing instead. And I can remember inside my body, I was screaming, no, I'm not distributing books, anything but books. I'm not distributing books. So honestly, it really felt like I didn't even breathe for the rest of the time. So we get down to the book distribution spot. I don't know anything about it. And he loads me up with a great big stack of books. And I'm just thinking, oh my God, I thought I was going to throw up. My nerves were shaking. And I thought, how am I going to do this book distribution? I don't know how to do book distribution. And then I thought, wait a minute, all I have to do is just walk around with all these books for a couple hours and then meet back at the van. So that's how I figured I was going to get out of doing books. So I'm walking around with my books, and the wife, she was driving the van to go shopping. So it was just me and the husband, and he went like a block away or something. So I'm there all by myself, and I'm walking around for a long time, and I'm getting really, really bored, and I need to sit down. I'm getting tired. So I go into the SkyTrain station, and I sit there, and I look over to my left, and I see this boy sitting there, and he looked really, really sad. And I forgot all about the fact that I was supposed to be trying to distribute books. So instead, I just struck up a conversation with him, and he was telling me all these like sad stories and everything. And then all of a sudden, like Krishna said, "You've got books, you've got books, like show him the book, show him." Anyway, so I was like, "Oh yeah, oh hey, I've got a book here." So I start showing him the book and the pictures, and I started preaching to him the philosophy and everything. And I noticed like his whole body language, everything, he started to come alive, and he was feeling hopeful. Anyway, so I ended up giving him a book, and I asked him for a donation, and so that was my book went out. And then I thought, oh, that was an accident, So then I went walking around some more and waiting for the time to like go by. And then I saw these three men standing together talking, and they were young Indian men, probably I would say in their mid 20s. So I thought, oh, here's some men from India. Because they're from India, they're going to understand the Bhagavad Gita. They're going to want to take one. This is going to be so easy. So I go over and I start talking to them, but only one person spoke English. The other two didn't speak English. So I was speaking to the one person, and then he was translating to the other two. And I had my Bhagavad Gita open, and I was showing him all the photos to all three of them. And then they would ask him questions, and then he would interpret it, and then he would ask me the question, and then I would say it back, and then he would go back to it. Anyway, I get to the very end, and I put a book in each of their hands. And the one fellow who could speak English, he said, "Come on, get your wallet out. Give her some money. Give her some money. You have to pay for the book. Give her some money." So they gave me a donation. And then the one fellow said something, and the person who spoke English said to me, he says, he wants me to tell you that in India, he lives right next door to an ISKCON temple, but he's never been there. After I got better and better at distributing books, I started getting more confidence, and I started figuring out, what to say and how to approach people. And one of the most blissful parts about book distribution for me was when a person would take a book, give a donation, and then I would see them walking down the street holding the book. And like, they're just randomly opening it up, and they're looking somewhere in the book, and I'm reading, and I'm wondering, what are they reading? Like, what chapter are they reading? What page are they reading? What is Srila Prabhupada saying? What is Krishna saying? Because this is their first contact in this lifetime of anything that Krishna is saying or Srila Prabhupada saying. And just because we went out that day and tried. And also, sometimes I would distribute books by the bus loop. So I would see people that would take books and give donations. They'd be sitting on the bus, and they would be reading as the bus pulling out. And again, I would be filled with so much joy, because I'm thinking, which page are they reading? What chapter are they reading? Like I would say, like during the marathon, because it's a whole month, and I have to motivate myself, to go every single day. Sometimes I don't feel like going out. But when I make myself go out, well, I can't make myself go. It's all the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and Lord Chaitanya. So when I do go out, I always meet people that later tell me so many stories about how they were, wandering around, suicidal, so hopeless about their life, not understanding what the meaning of life was. Some people would tell me that, hey, you know what? I was just praying to God as I was walking up the street, and then I met you. So many people, after a while, they'll tell you their whole life story. And then you show them the pictures in the Bhagavad Gita, and you share some of the Krishna consciousness philosophy with you. And you can see how their face lightens up. They become happy. They're standing up taller, because if we don't go out and distribute books, then all these people are just wandering around suffering, you know, because everybody wants to be happy in the material world, and there's nothing you can do materially to make yourself happy. You know, you can have lots of money, you can go to the mall, you can buy yourself things, but there's nothing you can do because all the happiness is within. You have to reestablish your connection with Krishna, but they just don't know that. So once you start sharing the philosophy with them by the books, and they take the book and they go home, then they find out, you know, for themselves. And, you know, it's like Srila Prabhupada said, these books are medicine, right? And everyone, they're diseased by by their contact with material nature. They're in a diseased position, but our books are the medicine. So all we have to do is go out there and just give them the medicine, and just think about how many people that we can help, you know, just by trying. Srila Prabhupada just asked us to try, that's all. Because it's not good enough just that, you know, we're going to go back to Godhead or try to go back to Godhead, that we're following this process. We also have to help others to go back to Godhead also, right? That's our responsibility. And that's Lord Chaitanya's mission. And Srila Prabhupada is, you know, trying to follow in his spiritual masters all through the disciplic succession. Everybody has the mission, and we're all in a family, and we're trying to help Srila Prabhupada, who's trying to help, you know, his spiritual master in the mission. Mother Radhika Kripa was saying that this is Srila Prabhupada's goal. He wants that more than nothing else. He said, as long as you keep distributing my books, your life will be successful. Before I go out on books, how I motivate myself is you know, every time I come across something about book distribution that Srila Prabhupada has said, you know, I'll read through my notes. And this is one that I really like. When asked, what if people don't want to hear our message? Srila Prabhupada replied, the people might not understand our message, but Krishna will be pleased. And that is our mission. And that really helps me out a lot on book distribution, especially if you're having a bad day and people don't want to stop and talk to you, or you're not distributing very many books. You just have to remember that Srila Prabhupada just asked us to try. So just by trying, whether the book goes out or doesn't go out, he said Krishna will be pleased. And that is our mission, just to try. And we want to please Srila Prabhupada, because we can go home back to Godhead just by pleasing Srila Prabhupada. And when I first joined the movement, I asked so many Srila Prabhupada disciples, what does Srila Prabhupada want the most? And mostly every single Srila Prabhupada disciple said Srila Prabhupada wants us to distribute his books. So if you want to go back to Godhead, then we're going to distribute his books, because we're going to please Srila Prabhupada. And, you know, at the time of death, you know, Prabhupada's going to say, you know, come with me, you're coming with me. And, you know, our life will have become a success. And also one last thing is in the Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita, I always put it in my car when I'm driving out to my book distribution spot, because on pages 1073 to 1077, there's quite a long prayer that's Srila Prabhupada said to Krishna when he came to the United States, when he was in the Boston Harbor. So I read a lot of that prayer to remind myself of the purpose of me going out with my books. And I'm just going to read just a really short portion of that. So I'm quoting Srila Prabhupada. Somehow or other, O Lord, you have brought me here to speak about you. Now, my Lord, it is up to you to make me a success or failure as you like. O spiritual master of all the worlds, I can simply repeat your message. So if you like, you can make my power of speaking suitable for their understanding. And that is what I pray every time before I go out on books. I just ask Srila Prabhupada, please be with me. A lot of times I have to go on book distribution by myself, and I'm very scared. So I ask Prabhupada, and I visualize Srila Prabhupada being with me. So you can do that. That's very helpful too. And if Srila Prabhupada's with you, then he's going to help you distribute the books. And when I'm talking to people, I pray to Lord Chaitanya, and I say, Lord Chaitanya, can you please melt their heart? Because these people that we're talking to, especially here in Canada, you know, they've never heard the word Krishna. They don't know anything about Bhakti Yoga. They don't understand any of our philosophy. So you're talking and they're really not understanding very much. But you can say, you know, dear Lord Chaitanya, please melt their heart so they will take a book. And then even though they don't really understand what you're talking about, you know, Krishna will speak to them, Lord Chaitanya will speak to them from within their heart, and they'll take a book and they'll give a donation.
We did book distribution, both of us. Do you remember, in the downtown? You took me on the Sky Train, and then we were distributing in the downtown. And then say.
Well, it was quite some time ago. I just remember what you said. We went on the Sky Train. We went to downtown Vancouver. We were just walking around with the books. That's how we do our book distribution. We just walk around with the books, and we say, we look for people that, are friendly, have bright faces. And I always say, hey, books on yoga and meditation helps relieve your stress, because everybody's stressed out, right? And then when a nice person stops to talk to me, then I open up the Bhagavad Gita, I show them the pictures, I share some philosophy with them. And even if you don't know what to say, because they're looking at the pictures, they're usually they're so attracted to the photos because they've never seen anything like that before, especially in North America, where no one has heard of Krishna or seen any of the beautiful paintings or, Radharani, anything like that. So they're very mesmerized, what these photographs mean. So that's how Mother Radhika and I were distributing books, just by stopping nice looking people and trying to talk to them. And if somebody doesn't want to talk to you, that's fine. You just go to somebody else. You don't take it personal, because it really has nothing to do with you. His Holiness Vaisheshik Prabhu says it's like doing book distribution is like picking fruit. So when you go to the fruit tree, you don't pick the green hard fruit, you pick the ripe soft fruit that you just touch it and it falls into your hand. And book distribution is the exact same way. When there's so many people, it doesn't matter if somebody's not interested, you just go to the next one, because there are really so many people that I've talked to that have said, I've been looking for a book just like this. And we have to find them, right? We have to weed through all the other people until we find the right ones. And they are there. And when we find one, it's very exciting that we can help reestablish their connection to Krishna.
She's very smart at it. She has really developed into a nice book. It's been how many years? Like 20 years now? How many years you've been doing book distribution?
No, not 20 years. I don't know, maybe 10. Maybe 10, I guess.
More than 10. 10. You met me 10 years back.
Did I? Okay. Maybe 13? Maybe 15? I don't know. But honestly, I never planned on being a book distributor. But if that's what Krishna's plan is for you, then there's nothing that you can do.
She's done book distribution of my book also, Vaishnava Teachings in Sikhism. She's very smart. She spots out any Sikhs or any Punjabis, and she runs to them and she hands over the book to them. You remember when you did the Vaishnava Teachings in Sikhism?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, we can do anything. Krishna, it says in the Bhagavad Gita that Krishna is the supreme mystic.
Yes.
So when you go to do book distribution, what you need is to ask Krishna for his mysticism. I do that every time before I go out on books, because on our own, we're really not that capable of doing anything, right? Because the human being has 4 defects. So on our own, we're not really capable of accomplishing much. So we have to pray to the entire disciplic succession. We have to pray to Lord Chaitanya. We have to pray to Srila Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta, everyone, to please, empower me to stop the right people. Please empower me once somebody stops, so that I can say the right words. And please, Krishna, I always say this, Krishna, you are the supreme mystic. So please use your supreme mysticism when I go out to do books today. Please help me save these people, because on my own, I can't save anybody. So please help me. Just please help me. So even when you're going out on book distribution, even if you're not, you're having a day where you're not selling very many books, it's so purifying, because you just have to keep praying the whole time. And that's what I do. I just keep praying the whole time. Krishna, please help me. Srila Prabhupada, please help me. Please help me. Please help me.
Thank you so much, Banke Bihari. It's wonderful.